Yeah, got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
Good evening, I'm Matt Malloy. The actions of multiple RPD officers under review tonight. The mayor says when Border Patrol officers called for backup on Monday evening, several city officers responded, and in the course of helping with the traffic stop, they violated the terms of Rochester's sanctuary city status. 13 Wham's Daniel Finkelstein joins us now with a breakdown of...
That's nuts. Like ICE and local police departments, they should be working together in unison. Because when you became a cop, you made an oath to uphold the laws of this country, the Constitution.
Right. Federal immigration laws, too, not to mention. Wow. It bogs to mind why you would pass laws that would conflict with that.
What the mayor says happened, how the police union is responding, and what happens next. Daniel, good evening.
Good evening, Matt.
This is crazy that this is even a news story.
While helping on that traffic stop, Mayor Evans says RPD officers verbally directed the occupants to exit the vehicle and then helped handcuff him. That's where he says city police went too far.
They went too far.
It happened early Monday evening near here, Whitney Street off Live.
Look at that knuckle dragger walking across the street with his pants so low he can barely walk.
The news, come on, man, you got to admit, they did that on purpose. Oh, get him walking down the street.
Yeah, let me go back.
Man, look at that knuckle dragger.
Too far. It happened early Monday evening near here, Whitney Street off Lyle Avenue on the city's west side.
The Rochester Police Department received an emergency request for backup at the scene of a traffic stop.
A request from Border Patrol officers who had stopped a van. Chief David Smith says when a police supervisor arrived, he canceled the emergency response based on what he saw.
From watching the body-worn camera footage, what is concerning to me is, despite the fact that we were called, we went lights and siren, I see in the video a total lack of urgency on the part of multiple Border Patrol officers at the scene.
Smith says Border Patrol should have initiated contact with those in the car, but instead it was RPD. The mayor says city officers acted outside their scope.
The officers on the scene were verbally directed the occupants to get out of the vehicle. And this is against our policy.
Take that paper away, he ain't got nothing to say. And this is the mayor.
Yeah. That's the mayor?
Yeah, if he doesn't have that paper to read, he don't know what to say.
Yeah. They're just trying to
Rochester's sanctuary city resolution was passed in 1986 and was later reaffirmed in 2017. That and RPD's General Order 502 prohibits RPD from enforcing federal immigration law, but allows for certain levels of assistance, only to ensure the safety of those involved.
We are not to be handcuffing subjects. We are not to be doing pat frisks on subjects, and we are absolutely not going to be detaining them or putting them into our cars.
The circumstances surrounding why the van and its estimated 8 people were stopped remain unclear, but city leaders say RPD should not have helped as they did. Mayoral candidate Mary Lupian says she has seen the video, which she says shows more than 8 RPD officers threatening immigrant construction workers inside the van, at one point threatening to break the car's windows.
The only time we will ever take any type of law enforcement action is for officer safety issues or exigent.
Okay, they do that to American citizens. If you don't get out of the car, I'm going to break the window.
Yeah.
But they don't like it when it's an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the full press conference of the mayor here.
Yeah.
Because they left.
The main reason why they're pushing back, because they're going to lose the next election. If people are going to deem that they are behind this, I'm not going to vote for you. They see their jobs at risk. So that's why they're doing this.
It's a woke area. Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to save their jobs.
Yeah.
Their jobs are more important to what's right.
Yeah.
David Smith, I want to thank you all for coming here so quickly.
Your button, your jacket looking
But
important.
I think that, as you know, a hallmark of my administration has been transparency. And when I get information from community members or others, I like to make sure that we bring it to the forefront immediately. And today I learned of information that I want to bring to the community's attention in light of the conversations and the actions that have been taking place in cities across America as it relates to immigration enforcement. On Monday, March 24th, the Rochester Police Department
I'm going to speed this up. He talked way too damn slow for me.
For backup at the scene of a traffic stop on Whitney Street in the city of Rochester.
Why he's almost
The
sounds
requesting
normal.
agency was the Federal Office of Homeland Security, HSI, also referred to as Border Patrol. Requests like this for backup sometimes happen sometimes when other law enforcement agencies feel the scene is unsafe for themselves
Okay.
or others.
Makes sense.
RPD responds to these scenes to ensure the locations remain safe. But I want to be clear, and the chief will speak to this in a second. I want to be unequivocally clear. As the executive of the city of Rochester, it is our jobs to make sure that we follow our policies. And our policy clearly states that the Rochester Police Department is not responsible for and does not engage in enforcement of immigration laws, does
You know
not
what?
perform the function.
This is political theater. That's all it is. He could have had the same conversation with his police officers. Why are you going in front of the press doing this? Why? Because you're trying to save your job. You want to make sure you have job security. I'm going to go out in front of the public and say, I don't stand behind this. You could have did all this behind closed doors.
Yeah,
this don't need to be held. These words don't need to be shared at a press conference.
Yeah.
Of federal immigration officers and does not assist any federal officers in the enforcement of immigration laws.
Is this guy wearing makeup? Maybe my contrast is off.
He looks sweet, don't he?
These are federal functions, not city functions. So based on my preliminary review of this incident, the officer who responded to the scene may have violated and appears to
This
have
dude's
violated
gonna get in
city
trouble?
policy. The officers on the scene were verbally directed the occupants to get out of the vehicle, and this is against our policy. I learned of this incident from a community member who called my office. I then called the chief to have him look into this matter.
Yeah, that's a woke city.
Yeah, and how did this turn into a press conference?
Because the woke got a hold of this, and he gonna lose his job if he doesn't speak out against the local police department assisting federal agents to remove illegal aliens from their community.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm thankful for the community member who brought this to our attention. But I just want to reiterate, this will be under investigation. I'll turn this over to the chief in a second. But
Investigation.
You're going to
our
investigate
policy
this.
is crystal clear. City police officers do not help or participate in federal
Help?
immigration activities. Every RPD
back up,
officer,
right?
I've
Yeah.
instructed the chief
That's
to make sure
help.
that every RPD officer receive more training on General Order 502 to ensure that all members are fully aware and fully understand this policy. Obviously, this is new
That's
information.
crazy. They're in your city. All right, so they just released the footage as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see exactly what happened.
We got footage, huh? Body cam or somebody filmed it?
Body cam and cell phone footage.
Brett, Nikki, the mayor and chief say that this goes against the city policy. But as you'll see in one of the videos that I obtained, Rochester police are helping ICE agents on Monday night during a traffic stop on Lyle Avenue and Whitney Street.
Let me talk to my husband.
Do not push.
Don't push.
I'm pushing you.
I just
Do not
got
touch my arm.
in
You
there.
understand?
That's a he-she, ain't it?
I don't know what that is. I've seen plenty of
Don't you
trans-
Do
come
not
back
touch
in
my
here.
arm, sir.
I'm a woman.
I don't care.
You can't
I
touch
don't.
me.
You gotta be kidding me.
Know who she voted for.
I
like
just
American
did.
citizens.
In the video, you can hear the woman yelling at an RPD officer. She steps in front of them, wanting to talk to her cousin, she says, who is inside the van.
Yeah,
the
she is.
officer pushes her away as another officer works to get that person out of a dark-colored red van. Chief David Smith says the supervisor who arrived on scene initially canceled the response. He says despite that, they still responded.
Well, it looked like they needed help.
Yeah,
He got unruly. That's why they called for
right.
Rochester PD.
What is also very concerning is that RPD officers, when out of view of the supervisor who is on scene, do initiate contact with occupants of the vehicle while Border Patrol stands by.
Once the man gets out of the van, ICE begins to search him. The woman tries to get closer.
I want you to back up. You'll get it when you're done.
Hey, Kevin, Rochester PD don't supposed to be doing this. They're supposed to help.
She should be in handcuffs.
Yeah.
When we're done,
She's like interfering.
Yeah.
back up.
Rochester City Council President Miguel Melendez says he will let the investigation run its course and mentioned what he's hearing from the community.
That there is an uptick in what I'll call driving while Latino. There's a lot more profiling, a lot more disdain for being Latino right now.
In this video, you see moments where two other people were also being detained. Several Rochester police officers and ICE agents surround them. Then, in this angle, you see an RPD officer holding the arm of a man in handcuffs while another officer removes the man's hood and baseball cap.
In our policy,
What's wrong with that?
See a dude crying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's wrong with them doing that?
I don't know.
Shouldn't be anything
it
wrong with
clearly states that the Rochester Police Department is not responsible for and does not engage in enforcement of immigration laws.
County legislator Mercedes Vasquez Simmons says there are two versions of stories that are being told in Rochester.
We have one that it's a sanctuary city, that we're not going to cooperate, and then you see what the reality is out in a community. To pin this on police officers is just, it's not fair to them. Information flows from the top down.
We reached out to Border Patrol and Homeland Security. An ICE spokesperson would only tell us that enhanced targeted operations began Monday in parts of New York to enforce U.S. immigration law. We asked what happened to those that were detained. We have not received a response. In downtown Rochester, Marcia Augusta, News 10. NBC.
And as for the Rochester police officers involved, they're off-road patrol until they get additional training on the city's policy of not being involved in any immigration enforcement. Thanks, Marcia. Rochester's police union released a statement on the situation. It says, in part, quote, the mayor's statements today about this incident represent a complete overreaction to what did and did not happen on Monday.
Exactly.
The Locust Club members who responded did absolutely nothing wrong other than to answer a call for help from another agency.
Yeah, and that's what the mayor said at the beginning of his press conference.
Right.
They're there to make sure everybody's safe, and that's what they were doing.
Yeah. Didn't look like they led anything. Not only did the cops do nothing wrong, but the mayor and the police chief, they actually lied.
Yeah, they're lying because they know they could possibly get voted out by the woke people in the city.
Yeah. Instead of reassuring, hey, this is what happened. No, they came out and lied about their own departments, their own government.
But their own officers.
Yeah.
And they're not on the streets right now until they get additional training.
What additional training you think they need?
Not to help ICE.
Not to show up?
Yeah. Sounds like it to me.
Wow, that is one woke place.